Welcome to Pro Wrestling Wrap Up, brought to you by Pro Wrestling Wire. I'm Uncle Otis. Today's show we cover the NWA's Power. This show is on every Tuesday on the CW network. Just check your local listings for details for time and such. Today's show started with an in-ring interview with Kyle Davis and the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion Joe Alonzo. Kyle had said that Alonzo had a grievance that he wanted to air. And when he gave the mic to Alonzo, he immediately disrespected Knoxville, Tennessee by saying that it was a hellhole. Then he went on to say that Billy Corgan was a lazy booker to have set him up in this match this evening against Damian Fenrir. This is a guy that he's beaten before, and Alonzo couldn't understand why he had to face him again. He then went on to say that I can't even talk to Corgan about it because he's too busy touring with his band, the Smashing Pumpkins. And he was quite upset. But then he went to say that apparently the NWA is not Corgan's priority, his band is. At that time, acting CEO Matt Cardona came down to the ring. He grabbed the microphone and he told Alonzo immediately, first of all, never disrespect my number one broski, Billy Corgan. Cardona said, but I'm going to tell you something. I have an idea. You are a marquee player, Alonzo, so you deserve a marquee match. I'm assuming that's what you want. Of course, Alonzo concurred to that. He said, you don't want a squash match. So what I'm going to do for the junior heavyweight title is make a scramble match. Alonzo was furious. He didn't want to be wrestling a bunch of guys he didn't want to wrestle. He didn't even want to wrestle the one guy that he was supposed to wrestle. And Alonzo was fuming. He immediately got into Cardona's grill and he said, look, I don't listen to anybody, and I'm certainly not listening to you, Matthew. And then he started out of the ring. As he was walking up towards the curtain, he turned because he heard Cardona say, and one more thing, Joe, that match starts now. Alonzo was pissed. He turned, he said, no way, and he started to leave. But as he turned and walked towards the curtain, there were 7 young wrestlers from different promotions all over the country, all the way from Chicago to San Antonio, and they were blocking his path for leaving the curtain area. And what happened was Jade Newman, Camaro Jackson, Damian Fenrir, his original opponent, Tyler Franks, Ashton Day, Rafael Quintero, and Soda Pop virtually pushed their way and Alonzo back to the ring. After the bell rang, there was all kinds of mayhem going on inside and outside the ring. However, the only mayhem that counted what was happening in the ring, because it can only be won with a pinfall or submission between 2 players. So the bell rang, and of course Alonzo was nowhere to be found. You couldn't see him anywhere in the arena or anywhere around the ring itself. My assumption is he was hiding under the ring, but we don't know that. After about almost 9 minutes, one competitor was down and out in the ring, and all of a sudden, Alonzo popped up. And that opponent that was down and out was Fenrir, his original opponent. So, of course, Alonzo jumped in the ring, grabbed Fenrir, and delivered his Joey Special move on him, which got him the pin and the win over on Fenrir. None of the other wrestlers were originally supposed to face Damian Fenrir, only him, and he managed to pin him anyway. So he had all that aggravation for nothing. He should have kept his mouth shut. Now, the second match of the evening was a number 1 contenders match for the NWA United States Tag Team belts. It was Tommy Rant and Sage Chance, the Slime Balls, against Baron Von Storm and Jax Dane, 2 of my favorites. This match went on for about 6.5 minutes, and the winners were Von Storm and Dane, after Dane managed to pull Rant in with his Trap City. And basically, he knocked him out with that hold. And it was a KO win on that one. Now, match 3. A 10-person intergender tag team grudge match. That's a mouthful. It was the Southern Six, Alex Taylor, Terry Morton, and Silas Mason, with Tiffany Nieves, the La Princesa, and Rekka Nahaka. And they went up against the Country Gentlemen, AJ and KC Kazana, with Joe Kazana by their side, and Burchill, Taylor Rising, and Big Mama. This match was outstanding, and it went on for quite a while. But finally, in the end, what ended up happening was the ref was preoccupied with some of the nonsense and antics that was happening outside the ring, when finally Silas Mason jumped in the ring, grabbed Big Mama, and he gave her the Thrillbilly Ride. And it was a big one. He must have spun a half a dozen times or better. When she landed on the mat, when he slammed her on the mat, rather, he grabbed La Princesa Tiffany Nieves and pulled her on top of Big Mama. The referee saw her on top of Big Mama, and he hit the mat with the 1, 2, 3, and they took the win. Well, there you have it, folks. Another great show from a great promotion, the NWA, which, like I said, airs every Tuesday on the CW network. Check your local listings, though, to be sure of times of when it's airing. This has been Pro Wrestling Wire. Please follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. And I'm Uncle Otis. Good night.